This is Thomas Lyons from Raps on TV, here for the final weigh-ins for Degale-Eubank ahead of Saturday night's Crunch domestic clash. Fortunate to be joined by Team Degale, Jimmy Mack Jr. How's everything going, Jim?
Really good. As you can see, James has made weight. He looks in great shape, and he's just ready to go now tomorrow night.
Yeah, James tipped the scales in phenomenal shape. How's training and preparation been for arguably his toughest test to date?
Really good. He's trained smart this time. Obviously, it's been no secret that he's had injuries and stuff, but yeah, he's trained really well for this one, and he can't wait to get in there and put a show on tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean it's a very difficult fight to split at the moment between the wider boxing fraternity. Some say Degale because of his experience, his pedigree. Also Eubank because of the momentum he's had, the fights that he's taken with Groves, and also the fact that he may see Degale on the slide. What's your sort of overall assessment of how you think the fight's going to play out on Saturday night?
I just think since the Truax fight, he's grown in a lot of confidence, and that's given him the confidence to take the fight. And now the fight's here. Thank God finally James is injury free, and we're going to see a brilliant boxing display tomorrow by James Degale.
And in terms of the build-up, the tensions between the two camps and the fighters themselves, do you think that's just added to the growth of and the profile of this fight?
It's the spice, isn't it? Who wants to see people go, oh, you know, mate, I hope it's a great fight, but you want to see that little bit of needle and that little bit of just that gets people up, ready to watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What distinguishes Degale from the rest of the super middleweights out there? Is it in terms of his Olympic pedigree that he's carried over?
I think you can't buy that. You just can't buy that. And I know amateurs and professionals are different games, but he's transformed that into the pro game. And yeah, he's obviously two-time world champion.
Yeah.
He's literally got all the ability in the world. Now he's just got to put it into fruition tomorrow night.
Yeah, and in terms of Eubank, I mean, where does he go from here? I mean, hoping that the result goes your way on Saturday night. Where do you see Eubank going after this?
It's a difficult one because you don't does he retire? He's still a young man, but I would imagine he'll just go, I'm not a super middleweight, upper middleweight. Yeah. And he'll probably just drop back down to middleweight. That's what I presume anyway.
Yeah, and I mean it's well documented. He's obviously employed Nate Vasquez as part of his training camp. Do you think that will make any difference, or do you think kind of the lack of trainer methods, strategies that he's had in the past, do you think that will be his detriment on the night?
It might help him, but he may just not listen. He's obviously had previous of just not listening to people, and we'll see. In the heat of battle, let's see if he can stick to what he's being told.
Yeah, and also on the card you got Chris KONGO stepping up again in another welterweight contest and kind of eyeing a major title shot in the back end of this year.
That's right.
What's kind of in the pipeline for Chris, albeit he comes through Saturday night?
Listen, Chris is ready now to mix it with the best fighters in Britain now. People don't really want to fight him. He's 6'1", 6'2", puncher, good boxer. But this is the year for Chris now to really push on in a domestic scene and start picking up some of his titles.
Yeah, and it's been a wink since the Southern area welterweight fight between Jez Smith and Samuel Antwi at York Hall.
Yeah.
Is that a fight that potentially may motivate Chris?
Yeah, of course. Like he wants the belts now. Anyone who's got the belts, he's coming for them. Yeah. So he don't fear no one domestically, and anything comes up, he'll take it with both hands.
And I mean, touch on the domestic scenes, booming at the minute at 147. Obviously got Johnny Garton defending his Lonsdale belt against Chris Jenkins. How do you see that fight playing out, and is that another fight that Chris will have a firm eye on?
Yeah, it's a tough fight. I'll probably edge Garton, but yeah, whoever wins, KONGO's right on their tail. He's after him.
Yeah. And just finally, I mean, it's been kind of put out there this week, Billy Joe Saunders stepping up to super middleweight, kind of a new phase of his career, you could say, with the fights at middleweight with the likes of Andrade, Charlos, Jacobs falling through. Do you think this is the right move at the right time for Bill?
Possibly, because he looks like he's sort of been frozen out a little bit of the middleweight division. All the belts look like they're on the zone, so he's probably thinking, let me just move up, win a belt, keep my name, relevant in that mix, and then he'll probably drop back down to middleweight after one, and just say, look, I'm still a world champion, so I can still get the big fights.
Yeah, well, Jim, it's a pleasure having you on the channel as always, and giving me some of your time.
No problem.
Just a final prediction for Saturday night. How do you see the fight playing out?
I see James Degale winning unanimously on points.
Thomas Lyons, Raps on TV, Jimmy Mack Jr. Pleasure as always, and all the best for Saturday night.
Thank you very much, my man.